If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself.
Never repeat your failures. Work with people that are smarter than you. Listen and mentally know you're the best. If you mentally know you're the best, no one can compete with you.
You can win more when you surround yourself with more winners. I found that putting yourself in the environment of motivational, inspirational personnel, people that just want shit out of life, it's addictive. You get that, like that rubs off. So my surroundings changed. My ideas, my wants grew.
My advice is you have to find a dream that's so big that it overwhelms all of your fears and causes you to never give up.
If everything I did failed, just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. And anyone that wants to sit around and talk, they're taking too much time talking about it instead of getting up off their and following their dreams, because I'm here to follow my dreams.
Just be more alert to the things that might be stealing your time. Here's why. Time is like capital. You can't let someone steal your seed corn. You can't let someone steal your capital. And you can't let someone steal your time. You must designate your time. And some of the time that you designate, you must not let anyone steal. Casual time, you might let someone intrude and steal a little bit and take a little bit, but not serious time.
And one of the most important lessons in life is to remember to have an attitude, gratitude, humility. Understand where the gift comes from. It's not mine. It's been given to me by the grace of God. Use what I have. Use what you have to help others. You know, on your last day, you can't take it with you.
Yes, that is true.
But you can leave it here.
Can't skip steps. You have to put one foot in front of the other. Things take time. There are no shortcuts. But you want to do those steps with, passion and ferocity.
When I was young, I was poor and had no education and no money. And then I discovered continuous learning, personal development. I found you can learn anything that you need to learn to be successful in that area. You could learn to repair an expensive automobile. You could learn to prepare a dish in the kitchen. You can learn anything. You can learn all business skills. When I discovered this, I still remember. I couldn't believe it because it meant that my potential was unlimited. And the more you learn, because of the way your brain works, the stronger it becomes so you can learn more faster.
The way you get better at anything in the world is practice. You want to get better at basketball? You practice. You want to get better at singing? You practice. You want to get better at DJing? You practice. You want to get better at having self-confidence? You practice on not valuing someone else's opinion over your own opinion of yourself. You practice by putting yourself out there more.
Feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? Don't believe them. You got to be relentless.
You got to have a plan. Everybody's got a dream. Everybody's got a goal. What's the plan? And your plan has got to have something I call the C5 complex. Your plan has got to be clear, concise, compelling, consistent, and committed. You've got to have a plan. And when you're trying to do something that you're truly passionate about, there is no plan B.
Okay.
Plan B sucks.
All right.
Start today. Start here in the now. Just be happy, strong, and healthy. Within your control, the rest is bullshit. So whenever you feel the bullshit again, hey, tune the radio.
Most people don't use their imagination constructively. Most people use their imagination destructively. They imagine what they don't want. We've got to consciously and deliberately imagine what we do want. If we will take and sit down with a pen and ask ourselves, what do I really want? And write it down. And then make a written description of it in the present tense. Writing causes thinking. Thinking creates an image. And you get these images going, you're building a vision in your mind.
When God wants to change your life, He usually changes your friends. I went through this at 16 years old. I had some really awesome friends around me. And when I got radically saved, all of them stopped talking to me. There's been 4 times in my life where I've had transition or different seasons where I've had to pray this prayer. And I said, God, would you bring me the friend needed to help me get to the next level? Because I knew if God was going to change my life, He had to change.
For everybody out there, bottom line, entrepreneurship is get ready to lose, get ready to fail. Enjoy the win. Why? Because then you appreciate it. If you win all the time, then you don't know what loss feels like. But when you know what loss feels like and failure feels like, then you work really, really, really hard when you get a W, when you get a win, to protect it. And that, my friend, is entrepreneurship and hustling 101.
Your imagination took you way off into time and space, and you see, that's where I want to go. You created what you wanted in your mind. Don't ever let it go. That is a frequency. You got to get there. You got to live there.
And the more I study successful men and women, the more I find that every single one of them, the top 5%, are very clear about where it is they're going and what it is they want to accomplish. And when I look at unsuccessful men and women, or men and women who seem to be unhappy and floundering, I find that almost invariably they have a very, very limited sense of direction, sometimes no sense of direction at all. You see, we as human beings are goal-seeking organisms. We only function at our very best when we're working toward accomplishing something that is important to us. And in my estimation, 80 to 90% of all the unhappiness, hostility, violence, psychosomatic illness, alcoholism, drug addiction, and so on in our society is caused by people having no sense of direction. They don't know where they're going.
At one point in life, you gotta grow and take your shit to the next level. Mm-hmm. Little things, the way you move, the way you eat, the way you speak, the way you present yourself. You can't be a king and queen and not represent.
You can lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money.
The moment that you're on the verge of a breakthrough, the moment you're ready to get to the next level, expect to be tested. Something is going to happen. And that thing that is going to happen, it is going to basically be asking you this question: how bad do you want it? You done left this corporate job, my man. You a big shot real estate investor now? Okay. You no longer have the job, and we make you lose all of your nest egg, your savings. What are you going to do now? And in that bed, I was agonizing whether or not I was going to go back and ask for my job or if I was going to lean in. And let me tell you, I seriously considered going back to that job.
Most people aren't obsessed with their goals because they don't believe they're worthy of them. It's easy to dream about what you want, but in between where you are and what you want, there's a tremendous amount of stuff you got to change and do.
While you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal. You know, because if you're just focused on some end goal, then you might get there, but it'll be hard to progress past that because you're so focused on that one destination that it's like, you know, you maybe forget everything in between, and maybe you could have done more in between. He always told me, like, just be here right now, live right now, and do the best you can right now. Don't worry about what that end goal is. It's great to have goals, it's great to have dreams, but it's just like you get too attached to it, and sometimes it could be a self-destructive thing.
Poor people usually spend their money and invest what's left. That's the philosophy of the poor. Now here's the philosophy of the rich. Rich people invest their money and spend what's left. And here's the startling answer. It really doesn't matter what the amount is. What's most important is not the amount. What's really important is the philosophy. So I would ask you to adopt this philosophy of spending after you have invested. Invest first, then spend.
We want to understand that our results are nothing but a reflection of what's going on in here. If we don't like the results, we've got to rearrange everything inside, not outside.
Did you fail? Many, many times. Many, many times. In fact, one of my mantras is get up again. That's the process, because you need to fail. In fact, one would worry if one succeeded too fast, too soon. When you get victory at the first instance, that doesn't teach you anything. Victory by itself actually is a dead end. But it's failure that teaches.